Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This time it's the turn of Microsoft 365 service and support. Remember, if you like what you see, go ahead, click on that subscribe button. So, are you ready to learn? Let's go. Hi, I'm Andy Malone, Microsoft MVP and Certified Trainer. In this week's episode, I'm going to take a look at the Microsoft Support Center. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Andy, I'm in the cloud. What could possibly go wrong? Well, the fact is, things do occasionally go wrong, and knowing exactly how to troubleshoot and where to find solutions is a really important task. So, are you ready? Let's take a look. So our journey to support and reporting starts in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Now, first of all, you can see that we have this new card-based interface. And of course, this is all customizable. You can see user management. You can customize it to the various products here as well. Here we also have the message center. This is the service messages from Microsoft, and you can go in and you can see all of these. So it shows you kind of anything that's happening, any new features that have come in, any features that Microsoft might be removing. And it's really important that you keep up to date with these, okay? So you can see that we've got different categories. So high importance, occasionally this means that, you need to do something that could have a change in your service. So for example, updating something or something like that. And you can see that there's an act by date here. So it shows me here that there is an old Skype for Business online connector retirement. So if you're still using that, then that's really important that you take action on that. So any unread messages, any archived messages, again, they will all appear there in the message center. Okay, so just heading back just quickly to the home page. So these cards are really, really useful here as well. And you can see here that we get the service health card, again, billing and things like that. And also you can customize these cards here as well. So you can just literally just drag them onto a page if you want to. So coming into the important things, we're going to kick off with the health feature here in 365. And I'd just like to point out, by the way, that this really focuses on your own local data center. So this particular tenant that I'm using here is a demo tenant that's set up for the United States. So this is going to be based, any data here is going to be based in the local data center in the US here. So first of all, we can see that for the most part, everything looks pretty good. Everything's green. We do have a couple of advisories, so I can click into the advisory. And for example, Microsoft may be doing updates on some features. So at this point, some commandlets they're saying may be unavailable. I can go in and I can have a read of this little message. It tells me exactly what the status is, how it's going to impact my users. And again, what's the latest features here? What's actually being affected here by that? So that's a really, really nice feature. Now, of course, if you're having an issue yourself, you can also report an issue here as well. And that will obviously then Microsoft will take a look at that. You also get a history of anything, any kind of reported issues that you've had. That's a history, and as well as a history of any reported issues that you've submitted as well. So those are really useful. The other thing here is we've got the preferences. So exactly which features do you want to view the service health for? So, some of these may not be relevant to you. You may not be using those features. And of course, you can just disconnect some of those if you want to. Now, you can also have here, send me an email notification about the service health. You'll notice that that's disabled. The only thing about that I would say is that sometimes it can bombard your mailbox, so that's maybe something that you want to avoid. or if you do want to switch it on just for selected things only. As I mentioned, we also have the message center here, and I just went over that there. So message center, really important that you keep up to date with that. Lets you know if there's any major things going on, and also if there's any things coming up that you need to be aware of. This is a new feature. This is the network connectivity tool. So this shows me an overview of all the network connectivity. This is currently in preview. So again, my tenant is based in the United States here, but it shows you, I can see, I can go into this, I can have a look at and there's different security assessments, support assessments here. So it shows me that everything's going on okay. Again, it's all about security and compliance. So you get a certain number of points, and some data centers maybe have more points than others. And maybe this is because, for example, they may host government information or something like that. It tells you what the points are in terms of SharePoint, Teams, and Exchange Online. For example, service history and so on. You can also go into further. You can go in and learn the tools themselves. So if you do that, of course, this will take you to the 365 network connectivity test tool here. This can be quite useful. So you can add your location in here, and you can then run a network connectivity test here. You can also tell what kind of internet you're connecting to. So for example, it might be residential, it might be a corporate office. Let's face it, at the moment many of us are working from home. You might be trying satellite or cell phone connectivity here. So this is the network connectivity test is a really useful feature. Just one thing, you do need to sign in for that, as you can see. All right. So needless to say, that's a really nice feature. There are also some reports here, some things that you might want to take action on. So for example, behavioral things like SSL inspection. So you can drill into these. If there are any issues, you can research it and so on. So this is called the Insights feature. Again, you get the locations. You can drill down into each of the different data centers. And for example, it talks about the different types of connectivity with that data center. Again, for service support, you can drill into these. And it will give you more information on that. That's again a really nice feature. Now, if you want more details, as you can see, you can go into the docs.microsoft.com, and this is a fantastic set of tools. This is really where you can learn, hey, what does that mean? What does that feature mean? How does that feature work? Everything goes to docs.microsoft.com. So all the Microsoft presentations that you see out there, everything that you see, comes down to these support documents here. So definitely go ahead and check out those. So that's the three things here. Now, the other thing, of course, is reporting. So we have some nice reports. So productivity score. So this can be quite useful. You can switch on the productivity score within your organization. This can take a few minutes. I'll come back to that in a second. So how productive are your users within your company? Again, there's not much going on here. This is just a little demo tenant. So you can see here it shows me what are the most popular products that are currently being used, who are the most active users. So for example, here I'm using Microsoft Exchange, obviously for communications is the most active here. In terms of activities, who's got the largest amount of files stored. I can go in, I can view more details on that. For example, what kind of files they are. Are there any security or compliance issues with these files. Who are the heaviest users here? So you can see those users' names there for the reports, and you can drill into those. Now, just while we're here, I want to point something out here. In some places in the world, some people get very nervous about seeing usernames in reports. And I'm often asked, Andy, can I anonymize these? And the answer is absolutely you can. So for this, what we would do is I would simply go into settings here. If you go into organization settings, and if you scroll down, and in here, you can see that we have got reports. So in the reports here, you can see here, display de-identified user groups and site names. So that will anonymize these features for you. Also, make data available for Power BI. So if you're using Power BI, that's the business intelligence tool, that can be really useful in getting nice graphical data there. Okay, so that's really useful. Now, I also mentioned the productivity score there for your users. So Microsoft 365 uses that usage data. And that's, for example, how productive are your users in meetings and so on. So that's, again, quite a nice feature there. So again, check out some of these settings here in the user settings. Now, finally, just want to mention getting support. If you do happen to have issues, you can obviously submit a service request here. And this is artificial intelligence. This is a bot. So you can say, hey, I'm having problems. I'm having problems, let's say, with DNS. And it will say, okay, yes, I'm having problems here. How do I install? Let's just type something in here. How do I configure DNS? Okay. So it will say, okay, how do I configure it? So it will say, is your host GoDaddy or not? No, it's another domain provider. And then it will say, okay, do you want to manage the DNS records, or do you want Microsoft to do this for you? So you could say yes, no, and it will take you through the support questions there. Now, you can also say at the bottom, you can say I want to speak with somebody here. So you'll notice here, this is the support assistant here. You can also click on the little headset up here, and you can say, yeah, I'm having a DNS issue. Put in your phone number here and your email address, and somebody will then contact you. All right. We can click into here, and it will show you any ongoing service requests here as well. Now, just while we're in the service request, a good quick tip, definitely go ahead and download the Microsoft 365 admin app for your smartphone. That can be really, really useful as well. Now, the question is, Andy, what happens if I'm, let's say, a Microsoft partner and I would like to offer my customers support rather than Microsoft? Great question. So what you can do is you can come into settings. If you go into organizational settings here, and we have the organizational profile tab here, and in here you have this help desk information. All right, the help desk information, you can add your help desk information in here. So when your users have problems, they come to you, not to Microsoft. Okay, and that can really kind of cut down on the number of service requests there. So there you have it, Microsoft Service and Support. I hope you found that useful. Remember, if you did, go ahead and click on that subscribe button, ring that bell, and don't miss future postings. I really appreciate you tuning in, and you stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Remember, if you like what you've seen, go ahead and subscribe and check out these other related videos. Thanks again.